Okay. But fortunately, it's not 25 degrees. It's more like 69 degrees because we're getting into a great position here on Gresvon. In the upper left-hand corner, we have our Dragon Kitesy gamer, Dark. One of the top seeds in the tournament, one of the most winningest KSLers we have. But his opponent, he doesn't play quite as often, but when he does play, he tends to do pretty damn well. And he's going to give him a big run for his money today. In the lower right, we've got Cure. Oh, I'm so excited for this. These guys always give us such a great show. This map, too, like, I feel like Dark on this map, we just always see super long late games. Cure's going to go for the single racks. Okay, the single racks on the low ground into a very, very fast command center. Okay, Cure. This is very intriguing. So this is the position you expect Reapers to be coming out of, but Cure's just going to go for the Marine. I think he wants to try to get a snipe on this Overlord. If he can get this Marine out and let the Overlord get far enough in, maybe he can get the kill. That'd actually be a nice grab for Cure. All right, while we're in the early stages of this game, as exciting as it is for Cure to go for a fast CC and try to snipe this Overlord, which I don't think he gets because Dark a little too fast on that reaction time. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, the barracks is coming. Cure wants the kill. He wants it. He can smell it. He can taste it. And he's going to get it. Why is the barracks just landing? He's like, I want a Marine now. He's got 2 more barracks he's building. He's going to go for a 3 racks off the back of this. Oh! Dark gets it to the next pillar. Oh my God, what a move. Is Cure going to do it? He's going for it. The barracks is going further. He wants it. He needs it. And he will get that kill at the expense of this barracks being just way out from the base. What a beautiful play. He's going to send it all the way home, too. Oh, my God. He's got 3 barracks at home. This is a 4 racks. How many racks is Cure going to build? He's a wild man. And Dark, in the meantime, is just droning back at home. Like, Cure's kind of worried about Lings coming in right now, which is fair, because that would be really good, but Dark's not. He's not worried about it. Because Dark's got 4 roaches on the way. He's like, oh, you're building Marines, huh? What if I just built some roaches? Because it turns out there's a reason that Terrans build Reapers every single game. It's because scouting's really good. And Dark is going to take advantage of the fact that Cure has no scouting. Oh, man, I thought the beginning of this game was going to be kind of boring. I thought we were going to just get right into the macro game. I was all ready to talk about Imperial units of measurement in carpentry, but we're not going to get to do that this game. We'll have to save that one for time filling. The start of the next game, maybe. Cure's going to have a lot of Marines. No Marauders coming out. I feel like if he knew this was coming, he'd want like the 2 Marauders out from this tech lab. But he's going to have a lot of Marines. Stim is halfway done, but the roaches are here. Dark is putting the pressure right on. There are no bunkers, but Dark's going to see all these Marines, and that's a lot more than he had bargained for. He was not expecting there to just be 19 Marines out. And while he can get some damage done here, Dark does have to be a little bit careful. Stim, it's getting mighty close, guys. And if Dark's not careful, these Marines will just stim forward and crush the roaches. Already the Marines starting to push through, taking down a handful of these roaches. Great target fire out of Cure. Oh, the Ravager getting caught behind the roaches. It's faster, but it doesn't matter if the roaches body block it. Oh, it's just like what we talk about. If you run into a bear, like, you don't have to be faster than the bear. You have to be faster than the Marines. You just have to be faster than your friends. But those roaches all died to the bear in this metaphor. The bear being those Marines. Stim's done. Combat shields is done. Cure's just going to stim up this ramp. Yeah, he's going for it. He's going to target down the roaches. Transfuse is quite good. The Marine's going to go after the queens instead. And then Boogie. A couple roaches and a queen going down. Cure backing up. He doesn't have any medevacs out yet, but he's about to have his starport on a reactor. This is a great opening for Cure. Like an excellent opening. Dark committed a lot to that early attack, and he's trying to get into drones now. He does have a good drone count, but his economy wasn't great for a while there, and that's not what Dark likes to see, considering it was just kind of trading out units. He was hoping to get a little bit more damage done than that. Cure's got a third CC on the way here, on location. Not too worried about defending it, because Dark doing an early attack like that, not only does it set his economy back a little bit like we saw, but it sets his tech back. We're 6 minutes in and Dark's lair isn't done yet. This is, like, genuinely, I've seen him start hives at, like, 7 minutes and his lair's not even done yet. And we're 6.5 minutes in. So this is very behind for Dark. He loves to get his tech up and have it going early. But because he built those roaches early on, it set him behind in a lot of ways. Whereas for Cure, he just kind of traded some Marines and a couple supply depots out. Totally fine for the early game of the Terran. Cure's going to dive in. He's got the double drop here. There's a few units from Dark, but Cure's going to drop out anyways. He's going to try to target these queens down because, hey, those queens are the only things that shoot up. One of the medevacs will get killed here. So these Marines are going to turn and fight for a little while before Cure picks them up and gets out with 8 of them. Good snipe on that medevac from Dark, though. Bringing those extra queens up just in time to get that last hit off. Dark checking it out, scouting, seeing what's going on. I don't think he's going to be too surprised here. It's Marine tank out of Cure. And Cure going to keep that pressure on. He's got the one medevac, I think that was roaming around here somewhere. I don't know where it went, actually. I have no idea. He didn't lose it. I feel so confused. Oh, is this it? Oh my god. How did it make its way all the way over here? It's kind of crazy. Cure's just that good. But now he's got the double drop to the north. He's got the single drop to the southwest. He's going to try to come back in. There are some roaches here. No roach speed or ling speed yet, for the record. Roach speed is just now finishing up, before ling speed, of course. Oh my god, and Cure's got another double drop heading towards the bottom side. He could try to stim in and force a cancel on this base. He's going to have all sorts of pressure onto Dark, and this is where roaches can start to struggle a little bit. You have to split them and have them just all in position, ready to go. So you see Dark is going to send this away. And even though ling speed's not done yet, there's enough lings in here where I don't think the Marines can drop on top of it. But he doesn't have enough roaches to split into all 3 locations that Cure is hitting. So as he gathers forces together, we could see this drop coming in. Oh, no, it's going home. Cure. All right. Well, I feel like it could have gone in and gotten some damage done here, but Cure not quite able to get that going. Dark getting a lot of units out now. Remember how I said Dark likes his hive early? Even though his lair felt a bit late, his hive is done now. We are 9 minutes in. His hive is just done as soon as possible anyways. He's got Vipers on the way. He's getting into that later game tech. Oh, there's some Infestors out too. Cool, but we are not on the new patch yet. So I don't know if they had... it looks like they did have a fungal ready. I guess just barely. Dark not able to get that off before those Marines picked up and got out of there. The new patch, Pathogen Glance is gone, and Infestors just start with 75 energy. So they will start with a fungal in the tank. We should bring back Kydarian Amulet. I think High Templar should start with enough energy for a storm. What do you guys think? I feel like that would be a genuinely solid buff to Protoss, specifically against Terran, that would make the game more interesting. I actually hated that idea and used to meme on it for a while, but in this situation where Protosses are kind of struggling, and I feel like Terran's a big culprit in that, I feel like having just that slightly quicker storm could be pretty huge. I'd love to see it. Obviously not particularly relevant in this game, but Dark has a lot of Banelings out. He looks like he wants to put some heavy pressure on right now. Both players are very close to maxed. Cure does have some units set up to defend this base, but not a ton on this side. Sensor Tower will give him advanced notice of this coming, though. He's got a lot of tanks out. Those Vipers can absolutely pay for themselves. Dark gonna try to come in here. A beautiful Blinding Cloud. Oh my god, those Blinding Clouds are so big. Baneling smashing on some of those tanks, though. Not a lot of Banes left, but they are still rolling through. Blinding Clouds starting to dissipate as the Roaches and Ravagers are all alone now, and they cannot fight all alone. They're getting smashed by the Marine tank. That fight started out so well for Dark, but I think he dove a little too greedily and a little too deep. And Cure just had more and more Marines and more tanks behind that as well. That super deep tank line. Dark ended up losing all of his Lings and Banes, and a lot of those Roaches as well. More Vipers on the way. Did he lose the Vipers too? Oh, he lost the Vipers as well. Very painful for Dark. And kind of an uncharacteristic mistake, I feel like. He doesn't usually lose those Vipers, but I'm guessing some good target fire out of Cure sealed that deal. So far, Cure has traded quite a bit better, and on this map, it can be hard for the Zerg to stop Terran from expanding. We see Cure already setting up this planetary at the 5th base. Oh my god, it's an orbital. I lied. I'm actually surprised he's using an orbital here. Ooh, but Dark, he's going to fight back by taking this very forward hatchery. And, oh, look at this. This is a great plan. He's trying to pull Cure over here to cancel this base. Right? It's in Sensor Tower range. And he wants to hit on the top side and stop Cure from taking this base. This is like Dark's 8th base or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is literally a 9th hatchery right now. He wants to pull Cure over here to force the cancel, and then he wants to hit on the top side. Cure not really falling for it, though. He's going to send a handful of Marines down here. But not enough where Dark can commit to the north. Cure getting very, very set up. We've got Ghosts coming out, but there are Broodlords being morphed as well. Dark wants to start pushing forward. Vikings, there are 4 Vikings. Oh, I don't know where that Ravager thought it was going. But quite a few Ghosts. Still 3 more on the way. 7 already out. The Broodlords have to be very careful of that. Kind of a chill moment here. So Cure is not being very aggressive at all. He's barely put on any pressure. He had the like triple prong setup earlier on, but didn't really end up getting anything done with any of it. Just clearing some creep out and then expanding on his side of the map. And now Cure, he's solid on 5 bases. He has command centers to go take a 6th very soon. Probably going to try to take this one as well. Pushing that creep back a little bit. And just trying to create some space for himself. But Dark's coming in with the Broodlords. Ooh, the Ghost running forward, going for the snipes. Got some yoinks on the Vikings. Oh, those tanks friendly firing so much with the Broodlords here. And Cure forced to lift as he's lost 13 SCVs. Dark continuing to push forward, just trying to take out a couple units at a time. Again, force all of that friendly fire. This is where the tanks really start to cause issues for the Terran player. And the one situation where tanks are actually bad. This is it. We found it, guys. We found the one situation where tanks are actively probably the worst unit the Terran can build here. Some snipes going down. A nice couple of fungals, though. And Dark, oh, he wanted to dive forward. He decides against it. But Cure, he's starting to drop in supply. He's trying to rebuild these bio units. But so far, these Broodlords are just pushing through. Parasitic Bomb goes down on a medevac. It looks like a couple of medevacs will die for that. Cure holding onto this base, but just barely. He gets a couple of Thors out, but that is going to be Dark's cue to send in the ground army. Lings and Banes just smashing forward. And Cure, I don't know if he's got enough to deal with this. He's losing so much to these Lings and Banes, and then whatever is left has to deal with the Roaches and Broodlords. But it looks like Dark, content with his damage, is going to pull back. Cure is now not mining on 2 of his 5 bases. He's taking this one, but it's not doing anything yet. He's going to drop a few mules here and just try to soak up some money. This base really not mineable at the moment. Dark's going to pull back. He's getting into Hydras now with his Lings and Banes. That tells me he might be going into Lurkers? No? No Lurkers. Who needs Lurkers? Why build Lurkers when you can just have Hydras instead? Hydra's kind of an interesting choice here. Heavier Infestor count makes a lot of sense, though. Ooh, Dark has 3 very low Broodlords, and a couple of them are going to go ahead and get sniped. Dark losing most of his Broods, and I don't think he's going to replace them. And he's got 3, no Corruptors out. That might be a tech for a later time. He's going to focus on the ground army. Now that he's killed a lot of the siege tanks, it is a lot harder for the ground army of Cure to fight against just good old Lingbane Hydra. So I get why he's going for this. It's also a lot more mobile, and he's going to move straight up to the north side. This planetary is full on dead. Cure's going to send some units over here, but oh no, the fungal goes down, and those Broodlords are going to send some Broodlings right on in. It's just the 2 Broods left now, but they're still doing their damage. Ling's going for a run by, getting on top of this base a little bit here. Not getting too much damage done, though. But Dark continuing to try to push in. Cure is maxed. So Dark needs to be a little bit careful here not to overcommit. Picking off units and backing up, keeping Cure's economy way down. Dark taking a big economic lead here with all of his bases, all of his units, and all of a sudden Cure, he decides he's going for it. He's going to push forward. We've got Hellbats, tanks, Thors, ghosts. It's mostly spooky mech at this point, and Dark decides that engagement's not going well. He's going to back up. He's going to resupply on Lings and Banes and Hydras, and he's just going to try to take as good of a fight as he can. He still has some Infestors out, but he did lose the Vipers. Oh, these Hydras just fighting on their own, getting sniped as they try to retreat. Dark going to send in the Banelings now to try to take down the Hellbats out front, because then the Lings can get on top of the rest of this, and that's exactly what we're seeing, but not quite enough Lings out of Dark. Cure's push still doing okay, but it doesn't have a lot of anti-Ling countermeasures here. The Bio and the Hellbats are really what you need to deal with all those Lings. The tanks do not do it very well. And Dark, he's just going to use the mobility of these Lings to his advantage, getting on top of some of Cure's mining. Cure really doesn't have much mining, so anything that gets killed here is a big problem for Cure. Only 3 SCVs dying, though. I feel like that was a bit of a misstep from Dark. Only getting 3 kills. He could have absolutely cleared this mineral line. Cure has gotten this base set up now. This one is still mining. Cure's economy is actually kind of roaring right now, and that's a problem for Dark. He's going to try to do something about it. He's diving in. There's not a lot of defense here. A lot of the mobile, stronger army is to the north, and this time this base is not going to live through it. A couple of snipes going down. The Hydras might want to try to escape. No, they're going to turn and fight. Dark says, I don't think you actually have enough to take this fight. He's just picking off units, stopping this base from happening for as long as he can. Baneling's getting morphed to the north side. This side is very tank heavy, though. I don't think the Banes are going to do a lot here. 8 Corruptors on the way as Dark maybe realizes, hey, you've built a lot more tanks. I see a lot of Marauders in this composition. You know what none of those are good against? The Broodlords. And 7 more Broodlords being morphed. 8 more Broodlords. I love this from Dark. And this is the real power of late game Zerg that has just been allowed to mine so much. Dark, he doesn't have much of a bank. It's a decent amount of gas bank, but not a lot of minerals, because he's just tech switching, constantly refueling his army, changing it up to respond to whatever Cure is building. The moment Cure has an army that deals with what Dark has, he trades it out, builds a new one. This is exactly how late game Zerg is meant to be played. And I think a lot of this comes back to Cure not doing that damage earlier on, not keeping Dark's bases down. Dark just allowed to do this. And now Cure, he's got to deal with the Broodlords again. Got some yoinks coming in. The Vipers being crucial here. Taking down tanks and Thors. And the Hydra's underneath to make sure that Cure can't just easily deal with this with anything. Nothing that really easily deals with his army, and Cure is realizing he doesn't have exactly what he needs right now. As the Broodlings start to get in on top of the tanks, he is going to try to push forward. Some fungals going down. It just slows down that bio army from being able to push forward. This is beautifully played by Dark. Cure's army is a lot bigger than Dark's right now, though. 136 to 118. He's got a good amount of extra supply, but look at how much of that is in production. What's on the field, he's actually down in supply right now. Dark's army, it's all here. It's all fight. It's all ready to go. He doesn't have anything in production because he's fully maxed. And while Cure, he's at 144 army supply, so much of it is wandering across the map right now, or in production, or tanks at other bases. And that just gives Dark such an advantage to keep pushing forward here. Now Cure is killing some units. We see Dark's army supply starting to fall. Gonna have to pull back onto that creep, pull back to the relative safety of Queens with transfuses, Infestors with fungals, and of course the Hydras, the Lings, and the Banes. The Broodlords starting to, no, they're not really. I was trying to say starting to fall, but I think that was the first one that has died in this battle just there. And Dark's gonna keep on pushing forward. Cure, he's on the back foot here. I don't know if he can keep doing it. We have Assimilations. Neural Parasite on the Liberator. It sieges up on top of Cure's army. I don't even think that was necessary. It was just flashy from Dark. And Dark is looking to close out game one, the big, long, late game against the scary Terran on Gresvan. And Dark, he's got it. I mean, Cure just doesn't have anything left. These Hydras are pushing through. Scan's going down, but I mean, Dark could just resupply on anything right now. He's even building the one swarm host, the accidental swarm host. You'll love to see it. Lings and Broodlings gonna finish off Cure as he taps out Dark. Whew, man. Nobody does it like him. Nobody does it like him. I still feel like Dark's late game is just the most solid. He's so scary to face off against. The spellcaster control, so good. Yeah, super sick game. Super sick game. I mean, that map, Dark likes Gresvan because I see him play on that map all the time, and he's just not afraid to go late game on it. I've seen him lose on that map quite a bit. I mean, Cure's beaten him on that map for sure, but it just feels like Dark he's so solid. And Cure, he had that opportunity earlier on. He had a ton of Marines. He had medevacs out. He had all these medevacs spread out on the map, and it felt like he just didn't take advantage of it, right? There was an opportunity. There was an empty drone line. There was creep spread he could have killed. Bases he might have been able to cancel had he still been active. But it felt like he got a little bit of damage done, and then he just pulled everything home and turtled. And I think turtling can be quite good, but on a map that big, that many bases, Dark just took over the map. His whole half of the map, he just had it in a heartbeat. He was mining on like 85 drones the whole time. And there's no way as the Terran you can really compete with that. You just have to be hyper efficient and constantly pushing back to take a base and pushing them back to take a base. And Dark, he had too much mining for too long. He just wasn't going to let that happen. I think Dark might be AFK for a moment, so we'll be getting into game 2 shortly. I just noticed that the predictions, the channel point predictions, somebody bet 18,000 nuggies on Cure. Only one person bet on Cure and one person bet on Dark. And the person who bet on Dark bet 10 nuggies. This is going to be the most value bet if Dark wins game 2 or game 3. If he wins the series, the most value bet I think I've ever seen. Bane Glory set up to win the 1 to, I mean, I guess it's like 1 to 18 point, or yeah, 1 to 1.8K ratio. I don't know, man. Seems like a good bet to me. You always got to go for the value bet. And it's never wrong to bet for this guy. The 2019 world champion, the Dragon Kitesy Gamer, the Zerg. I don't know. I wanted to use like a good word there, but I kind of fumbled that one. I apologize. The Zerg player. It's Dark. Say like the Zerg monstrosity or something, but it didn't quite feel right. His opponent in the upper left-hand corner, the blue Terran, right now ranked higher on a Ligulac, I believe. But so far down 0-1 after that long late game. It is a Cure. Then I was thinking maybe like the Zerg Guru, but there is a player named Guru. Who I haven't seen in a long time. Probably because he's incredibly BM. And I don't think he's allowed to play in most tournaments anymore. I don't know if he still plays. Kind of hope not. Just because I feel like BM people make ladder a worse place. So don't be BM. Cure's never BM. You think Cure BMs? No. When you're this good, you don't need to BM. You just know you're better. And Neo Humanity should be an interesting map here. I was just gonna say Dark loves to take this base as his third. He is, I'm sure he's not the only Zerg to take this, but he's the only Zerg I regularly cast that takes this base all the time. Specifically against Terran. I've seen other Zergs take this base. I've seen it cause them some issues against the like 2-Rax Reaper opening. We've seen forced cancels. Because the gold blocks you from defending it early game. But Dark will mine this out pretty quickly. And most of the early game Terran units can't really do anything against that base. So I think it's a really nice base for Dark to take. Oh my god, this Reaper has 2 kills. What is happening? It has a Ling and a drone. Gonna go 3 for 3 and get the creep tumor. Ooh, he wants it. Oh, he's not gonna get it. Oh man, I thought for sure he was gonna have that. That was close. We have a quick third CC out of Cure though. He's not gonna be going for any pressure. Oh yeah, see the base is done. Dark finishes mining through here. I think a queen can fit down that gap. There she goes. There she goes again. Push away the Reaper. So it looks like we have another macro game on our hands. At least so far. But of course, as I say those very words, as if in response to the commentator making an assumption about the state of the game, Dark immediately drops the Roach Warren, and I hadn't really gotten to talking about it yet. It was the follow-up in my mind to talking about Dark taking this base as his third. It's the other thing he likes to do on this map, which is go for Roach maxes. And what I mean by that is he just likes to drone his ass up, get to a sick drone count, 75 or so, and then just go for these big Roach Ravager pushes on the Terran. And I've seen Terrans who knew it was coming. I could see it. They had bunkers going down and tanks set up, and they still died. It's kind of the ultimate Dark thing to do. I remember him years ago, like doing it to Innovation. I mean, pretty much every top Terran has at some point died to Dark building a ton of roaches and ravagers and crushing across the map. And he loves to do it on this map. For some reason, this map, I don't know if it's the setup of the third base that allows him to get a lot of surface area on the defense. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but he loves to do it on this map. Now, Cure's got a little drop in here, and so far this is doing quite nice, killing those lings. The Queen's coming up to defend, but they need some help. That help might be able to come in the shape of these roaches. I think Cure spotted that roach, and that is a really nice scout. That Marine was looking to confirm the roaches, didn't quite get to see it. But unfortunately, the roaches are already here. I talked about a roach max. Dark was like, yeah, but I want to actually hit with roaches now. How about that? How do you like them apples? And he's going to get a lot of SCV damage done. Oh my god, this is huge. This Banshee working her ass off to make this a little bit better, but 14 SCVs going down. And this is how Dark gets into the position to go for his big roach max later on. He gets all this economic damage done. Cure's going to clean this up, and it looks like he's going to stay in the game, even though this is a very painful position for him. But look at what Dark's got behind this. He is already up to 60. He was at like 68 workers before he dropped some buildings here. I assume he's going to take a fourth base fairly soon, but I might be wrong about that. This might just be pure 3-base roach. That's insane. Oh, he's going to go take this fourth base. The forward fourth. A classic Dark move. Cure's going to hit with a couple of Banshees, just trying to poke and prod. Looks like he's going to force a cancel on that base. That is a very nice catch. This drop comes back in, but it looks like the medevac went down. Queen's going to transfuse until the roaches get there. Down it all goes. Man, Dark trying desperately to get another base up. He really needs it. He really needs another base to get up to keep supporting this kind of roach production. He's got double Evo chamber on the way. He's trying to get that drone count up, but keeps losing them, keeps losing the bases. And, ooh, the Queens are here this time, but I think the base is still going to be forced to cancel. Retakes it immediately, but that is the second cancel, and this is the third drone trying to take this base. So now it's a very late fourth. This is giving Cure time to build back up. He's building back better, as it were. He's getting more Marines and tanks out. His economy's in a decent spot at this point. Dark's going to go for the double expand. He's like, all right, you stopped me from taking that base for so long. I need more economy. I need to get this base up. So he's going to go for the double expand. He's going to send the roaches across. He's got to be a little bit careful. Stim is, of course, done for these Marines. That is a lot of Marines. And roach speed isn't quite done yet. Dark, well, threatening to go in, but I actually think that would be terrible for him. He is going to back up for now. 1-1 is on the way for both players, but it is significantly further ahead for Cure. And I feel like Dark, with that opening, had a chance to explode forward, and he started doing it. But the big delay on this fourth base, the drop just kind of bothering Dark. And I feel like Cure's pulled himself right back into this game. I'm getting a little worried for Dark now. He is starting to get back into unit production. He's on 78 drones. His fifth base is about to pop. His hive is almost done. And he's got the lurker den nearly finished as well. So I think if he had a different plan for this game, I think he's moved off of it, and now it's time to get some late game tech going. Get into those lurkers, the lurker upgrades, and just try to out-tech your opponent. Get to that late game tech before Cure is fully ready for it, before he has ghosts out, or Thors, or Hellbats, or any of that shenaniganry. Cure's going to be on Marine tank when these first Vipers come out, when these first lurkers hit. And that is a real problem for Cure. And Dark, again, he's just so quick to the lair all the time. I don't think anybody regularly gets to lair this quickly. I don't know. I'm sure there's a couple players out there that love their lair as much as Dark does, but he's also just so insanely good with his spellcaster control that I find it very, very strong for him. These Banshees, though, have been so good this game. Not only defending that roach attack and being the only thing keeping Cure alive in this game, but getting a lot of damage on the other side of the map so far. Ooh, the fungal whiffs as well. Cure sneaks on out of there. Cure's trying to push forward at the same time he scans, but he just barely doesn't see the lurkers. Now he's going to see the lurker spines. There's a lot of roaches and ravagers with this as well. Where are the vipers? I know there are a couple out. Here they come. Straight on in. I'm getting worried for Cure here. These spells can be so good. Some blinding clouds or just some yoinks. In come a couple of siege tanks. The Marines dive forward. Dark. He wants to go take advantage of it, but he decides not to. Just going to try to be patient here and wait for the tanks to move forward a little bit more. Oh, the Banshee's going to auto-attack into the Spore Crawler. Cure moves forward with the Marines once again, but a fungal goes down. A blinding cloud on the last 3 tanks. Oh, I think Dark's going to clear this. He's got to move these lurkers forward, though he's losing a lot of roaches and ravagers. But he's killing a lot of Cure's army. Cure down to 48 army supply, and so much of that is in medevacs, and that is just it. He has no fighting units left. Dark seals game 2 with the quick lair, the lurkers, the vipers, and of course that early game roach attack. Cure just never quite able to get back from that. Dark takes the 2-0 over Cure to head to yet another KSL Grand Finals.